back on October 4th of 1959 in Mequon, Wisconsin, there was remains of a smaller human found in a culvert off of Davis Road, and this culvert was north of Bonnewell Road and south of Pioneer Road. The Mequon Police Department then conducted an investigation, and it was determined that these remains were actually of that of a child between the ages of 6 to 8 years old at the time of the death. The Ozaukee County Sheriff's Office assisted in the investigation as well. So it's during the preliminaries of this investigation, they became aware of a case in Houghton County or Houghton County, Michigan, Houghton, regarding a missing child, Markku Jutila. So the HCD were working with the Chicago Police Department after the family members of William and Hilja Jutila became suspicious about their adopted son, Markku Jutila. So they had relocated from Houghton to Chicago and were not able to just discuss or say where their son was. He was 6. It's during the investigation with some police that the couple then admitted they fled from Houghton to Chicago and disposed of their child's body in a ditch in Mequon before arriving in Chicago. The mother confessed to beating their child. They were arrested by Chicago police, and this was on March 28th of 1966, and they were prosecuted. The charges were dismissed, though, due to a lack of evidence and failure of the prosecution to connect the skeleton of this child found to these defendants. Their adoptive son, Markku, was not seen again. The child that was found in 1959 was presumed to be that of their adopted son, but he never was identified. So, with hopes, they ended up doing a collaboration with the Ozaukee County Sheriff's Office and Madison State Crime Lab, met with anthropologists, and this was back in October of 2023, regarding these remains. So, the traditional DNA testing for this case was completed so they could do STR and uploaded it to CODIS. There was no matches found in their identity of this child. They couldn't figure out who it was. They then entered this case into NamUs as UP126034. Following CODIS, there was a decision for doing advanced forensics, so they then, in 2024, this year, submitted a sample to Othram, and they were able to follow up this investigation, launched the investigation of the child, who is known as Chester Breiney, whose adopted name is Markku Jutila. Chester was born to Josephine Breiney of Houghton, Michigan on February 26th of 1952. The adoption records show that he was admitted to the Goodwill Farm orphanage and then was adopted by the Jutilas on March 24th of 1955. The DA's office for Ozaukee County reviewed the results of this investigation and the positive identification of Breiney. The abuse of him by his adoptive parents went completely undetected, and he died due to as a result of it. This, to me, sounds a lot like the boy in the box. Where it took so long for him to be identified. Also, this happened in the 50s, that happened in the 50s. Unfortunately, nobody can be prosecuted because the Jutilas died back in 1988. There was a funeral service held for him, or there will be one held for him this coming Friday, November 15th, 2024, at St. John / St. Peter Alcantara Church in Port Washington, Wisconsin, under the direction of Ernest Funeral Home. There will be a procession afterwards to St. Mary's Cemetery in Port Washington, where he will be laid to rest. And everything for his services and his interment has been donated by community members. This is something very nice that the community has done for this child because, I mean, he died at the hands of his adoptive parents, and it's very nice that the community has come together to support this now identified small child.